All right. Yes, I hope you are doing well. So I've come your way again with the next initial solution because we need to find the initial solution. Simply like how we did for the simplest tableau. Initially, like how we did for the simplest tableau or simplest tableau. Some people call it simplest tableau. How we did for simplest tableau, we found the initial tableau first before we found our first iteration. So it means transportation problems, we need to find the initial solution or the initial tableau before you start to solve it. So this initial tableau or solution, you looked at the first one, which is the NW northwest corner method. Then the next one that we are looking at is the Bordel's approximation. This is this one that we are coming to look at in this video. Bordel's approximation method. We call it VAM. We normally call it VAM. So they will ask you to use these two to find the initial solution. You see, I'm telling you prior what will be happening in your entire life. In every degree program that you'll be doing in engineering field, you will need this particular course. So they will ask you to use two of these methods, initial solution methods, to find the initial solution of a transportation problem. So now let's look at how you go about the VAM. So the VAM, what you are looking for is the penalty cost. When you say penalty cost, what we mean is if we don't allocate in that particular cell, the cell with the least cost, what penalty would we incur? Because we want to minimize cost, and of course if you want to minimize cost, you need to choose the easiest route so that you don't be trafficked by police people and those illegal people, those who will be taking your money and other stuff. Yes, some of the police are illegal. Yes, so you need to take the simplest and the safest route. So you need to allocate at where the cost is where the cost is less, in order to minimize the transportation cost. So look at how we do for the penalty cost. If you don't allocate in that particular cell, it means you are going to incur a cost of penalty. That's what it means. So what do? We find we have the column, penalty cost, and we have the, I will clean this, probably I will clean this. We also have the row penalty cost. We also have the row penalty cost. So column penalty cost. Let's start with the column penalty cost. So what we do is we identify the least cost. What's the least cost in this first column? It's 3. The least cost, I've told you the cost are the ones in the square box, the smaller ones. So the least there is 3. And you ask yourself, what is the next least cost? Of course, it is 8. So you find the difference of these two least costs. Then the difference is 8 minus 3, and 8 minus 3 is 5. So the first penalty cost we calculate is 5. Then column 2, because we are dealing with the column penalty cost. So column 2, what's the least cost in column 2? It is 5. And the next least cost is 9. So what's the difference between 9 and 5? The difference is 4. Then we go to column 3. The least cost is 6. You can see that 6 here. Then the next least cost is 10, not 12, it's 10. 12 is lesser, 10 is lesser than 12. So the difference of 10 and 6 is also what? It's also 4. It's also 4. Then we come to the row penalty. So the row, what is the least cost? It is 5. What is the next least cost? 6. So difference of 6 and 5 is 1. We go to the next row, row 2. The least cost in row 2 is 10. You can see that here, 10. And the next least cost is 12. The difference of 12 and 10 is 2. When you come to row 3, the least cost there is 3 here. The next least cost is 9. The difference of 9 and 3 is 6. So now that you have found the column penalty cost and the row penalty cost, you find the highest penalty cost. Let me use another color. You find the highest penalty cost, and you can see that the highest penalty cost is 6. That's 6. 6. Then you go to that highest penalty cost. So that's row 3. You come to that row, you find the least cost there. So the least cost there is this 3 here. This 3. You find the highest penalty cost 6. You come to that row, you find the least cost on that row, which is 3. Then you allocate there, because I told you if you don't allocate there, you will incur a cost. Do you remember that? We are going to allocate at this part, at this part. We're going to allocate at this part where the least cost 3 is. So how much can we allocate there? We don't know. So we check the row the supply is 80. We check the column, the demand is 150. So the only amount that we can put here is 80. So that we balance the row, we don't flaunt the row. So 80, that's fine. That's fine. So let's look at what happens next. So this is what is going to happen. Let me use let me use black. Let me clean this. Next time, let me share the question again. Mhm. So this is what we had. So now, so now what we are going to do is, so we've seen that the row 3 is already balanced. So if the row 3 is balanced, means you can cancel the row 3. I can cancel the row 3 as I have done. I can cancel it. So I've cancelled the row 3. Then if I have cancelled the row 3, I will go around again and calculate penalty cost. So let me go to column 1 again. So now column 1, the list is 8, the next list is 15. What is 15 minus 8? It is 7. Then column 2, the list is 5 now, and the next list is not 9 again because I've cancelled it, so it's 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. Then you go to column 3. Column 3, the list there is 6. The next list is 12. I've cancelled the 10, so the next list is 12. 12 minus 6 is 6. We go to row 1. Row 1, the list there is 5. The next list is 6. So 5 minus 6 minus 5 is 1. It's 1. Then you go to row 2. The list is 10. The next list is 12. 12 minus 10 is 2. Of course, I have cancelled row 3, so I cannot do any row penalty cost. Then I go around again and check the highest. I will check the highest again. What is the highest penalty cost? It's 7. It's 7. Then I will go to that column, which is the 7, that column. Then look for the least cost there, which is 8. Then I will allocate there. I will do my allocation there. So I will go to the highest penalty cost 7, which is here. Then I'll go on that column, the least cost there 8, then I'll allocate. So I've already allocated 80. So let's look at that particular row. The supply is 120. So how much can I allocate that will not flank the demand here? I can only allocate 70, so that I will not go against the supply as well as the demand. So now row column 1 2 is column 1 2 is gone. Column 1 2 is gone because 70 plus 80 is giving us the demand 150. So now we will not be calculating penalty cost for column 1 again. So you will be calculating column penalty cost for column 2. Column penalty cost for column 2. So column 2, the list value there now is 5. The next list is 10. The difference is 5. Column 3, the list is 6, the next list is 12. So 12 minus 6 is 6. 6. Supply, so we go to row 1. Row 1, the list there is 5. The next list is 6. The difference is 1. Row 2, the list there is 10. The next list is 12. Difference is 2. Of course, row 3, I have cancelled it, so I will not calculate any row penalty cost. Then we go around again, then check for um we check for the highest number. Check for the highest number. So what is the highest number that we are having now? We are having 66. Sorry, 6. We are having 6. So how do you go about this 6? You go through that particular, so the 6 are 2, you can see. So you go through that particular column having the highest penalty cost. Then you allocate in the smaller cell there, the smaller cost there. You go to that penalty cost, you allocate in that smaller cost there. So if that is the case, so you go to the 6. That's where the 6 is, the highest penalty cost. Then you go to that column, it's column 3. What is the least cost there? 6. This one 6. So what will I put there? I will put 50, because that row, the supply is 120. I already have 50, so I already have 70, so I'll put 50 there, so that 70 plus 50 will give me the 120. Will give me the 120. Yes, and you can now see that you can now balance it without even going round, round, round again. You can balance it without going round, round, round again. So what do we see? We see that row column 3, we need 60 demand, but we've already satisfied 50. So what do? We put 10. And we cannot put the 10 here because we've cancelled row 3. So row 3, nothing can come there again. So we will put the 10 at cell 2 3, or at where the 12 is, the 12 cost is. Alright. Then is that all? No, that's not all. That's not all. So if that's not all, then what's left? You see that column 2, column 2 is not balanced. So the demand there is 70, and row 2 is not balanced. The supply there is 80. So what do? We put 70 here. So now everything is balanced. So what do? We calculate the cost. So we take 70 times 8 plus 70 times 10 plus 80 times 3 plus 10 times 12 plus 50 times 6, and this should give you $1,920. So same as we did, the number of concrete we need from plant 1 to mine 1 is what? 70 tons. That's from plant 1 to mine 1. Is this 70? Then from plant 1 to mine 3, is 50 tons. Then from plant 3 to mine 1, from plant 3. So whenever you calculate the transportation problem, these are the things that you put down. These are more like the decision variables. What you are looking for. How much concrete should you transport to Bogoso for Asanko mines to go on? And you are talking about operations research. Alright, so let's move on. Then the quantity for plant 2 to mine what? 2 is what? 70 what? 70 tons. Then lastly, from plant 2 to mine 3, that one is here, plant 2 to mine 3. And that one too is 10 tons of concrete. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the bodies approximation method. And what can you observe, or what can you notice? You can notice that the amount that we had for the northwest, this is the northwest method. northwest corner method. We had 2,690, which is a very huge cost as compared to the VAM. So normally we say the VAM is effective, or no, let me use the right word. Let me use the right adjective. It's efficient than VAM is efficient than uh, northwest corner method. VAM is efficient than northwest corner method. So normally this is the deduction. The initial solution, VAM is the best, but nevertheless, whatever approach that you use, will mark it for you. So if we tell you to use VAM, you use VAM. If we tell you to use northwest, you use northwest. If we don't tell you, you use anyone that you want to use, and you are good to go. But northwest is the easiest. You see, that one you don't calculate any penalty cost. You just allocate as high as you can. You just use your senses. So you check the row, you check the column. How much can I put there that will not flaunt the row and the column at the same time? Then you move on to the next one in that manner. So that's OR for you. 459. Enjoy. So we meet again to bring to you the stepping stone and the modified distribution method. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much.